Hello. Are we live? Are we not live? It's telling me weird things. Yes, we are. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to my channel for my preview of the Manchester United versus Chelsea game taking place on Sunday afternoon. And first of all, sorry for again doing a live stream. It was my intention to do a normal video that is not a live stream, that is actual 1080p quality and not this shit that my upload speed provides for you, which I'm really sorry about. But yeah, basically, I was, planning to do a proper video both in midweek and today. But the week's just been so hectic and busy. I've just simply not had the time. But I really wanted to do, a preview for the Manchester United game on Sunday. So I thought, well, the only thing I still have time for today, with tomorrow's day being really busy for me too, is a live preview. So that's what I'm, here to do, basically. And also, of course, if you're new here, please do subscribe to my channel. I would massively appreciate that. If you're watching this, please do subscribe. Drop a like rating on this video and, leave me your thoughts basically in the chat while this is going now. And obviously, as a comment on the video once this live stream has turned into a video. But also, just quickly, to a heads up, I'm not reading the chat straight away. First, I'll talk through my preview kind of bit. And then at the end, I'll read the chat and then we can have a little bit of a discussion, talk about a few things that I said and other things as well ahead of the game, of course. Now, going into the game, and as usual, as back in the day, as you might be more used to, starting it off by speaking of Manchester United, and I'm not going to go into so much technical detail, but what there is, to say, is that they've been absolutely shocking. Manchester United have won one single game in all of April. One game. And they've lost all the others. They haven't even drawn one. They lost to Wolves. They lost to Barcelona at home. They then beat West Ham with a load of luck, 2 penalties. Both of them probably shouldn't have been penalties. The first one just shouldn't have been a penalty, probably can be given, but possibly other refs might not have given it. But of course, it's Man United, so of course they got it. And the second penalty, after West Ham equalised and hit the bar, and De Gea pulled off some incredible saves, they got a second penalty, which, in the build-up to it was, I think Rashford was offside. So, very, very fortunate victory there. Then they got battered in Barcelona. Then they got battered by Everton last Sunday. And then they also lost in midweek to Man City, which, is great. Also, Arsenal lost away at Wolves, which, I told everyone they would. No one believed me, or not everyone believed me anyway, but they did. So top 4 is still very much on. Spurs, unfortunately, got very fortunate. I didn't watch the game, but they scored a basically 90th minute or last minute winner, against Brighton, which, is always unfortunate if you don't want Spurs to win. So that is very unfortunate. So top 4 is still very much alive because somehow we're 4th, 1 point ahead of Arsenal and 3 ahead of Man United, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, and now we all have the same amount of games played. All of us have 3 games remaining. So it's a bit mad. It's a bit mad. But yeah, United have been shocking. A lot of people expected them to be a bit better against Man City after obviously the dreadful performance against Everton on Sunday. Again, I couldn't watch the Manchester derby, because 2 of my mates decided, let's go see the new Avengers film, the Endgame, whatever it was called, on Wednesday while the Manchester derby was on, which, I do like Marvel films, but I'm not like the biggest fan of it. I would have rather watched, Endgame and, the Manchester derby than Endgame, I don't know, tonight or something. Anyway, it was what it was. I did see some of it. I did see, the analysis of it, but United seemed maybe a bit better than against, Everton, and also the scoreline, of course, suggests that. But they were, again, just, playing second fiddle. They just aren't as good as Man City. And, obviously they're not. Everyone knows that. But still, they're just not that good. I mean, I don't know. Like, they have some players that are really good, like Rashford. But then even their best players, like De Gea, are constantly making mistakes. Made a huge mistake away at Barcelona. Made a huge mistake, didn't he make quite a big mistake against Everton, and didn't he make a fairly big mistake against Man City as well? I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, when De Gea is not playing well for United, then United have problems, because usually De Gea was the one that saved their asses. And, let's not even talk about their defence. I mean, pretty much none of the defenders are any good, really. They're probably going to play like bloody Maldini against us on Sunday, but generally, none of them are actually any good, quite frankly. Then, and Herrera is back fit, according to Solskjaer, which he said in his press conference earlier today. Scott McTominay did fail his fitness test for the game against City, but might be back on Sunday as well. And then, of course, like I said, they have Rashford, they have Lingard, they have Lukaku. Tricky, but they're in poor form. At the same time, though, we haven't picked up a single point away from home in the Premier League at the top 6. We did beat Liverpool away in the League Cup. We did beat, we did only lose 1-0 with a penalty. There shouldn't have been a penalty away at Spurs in the first leg of the League Cup semi-final. Of course, that was still at Wembley, but it was still away from home. Yes, we still lost it, but we should have lost it if, the referees knew how VAR works and how, offside works, but it is what it is, I guess. But coming to Chelsea, of course, Maurizio Sarri's pre-match press conference was also very interesting. There was a lot to talk about. Now, fitness-wise, injury-wise, a lot of big things. Now, N'Golo Kante had to come off at halftime against Burnley, and Zola said after the game that he would be fine for Manchester United. Sarri then today said that he may be fit, but Sarri isn't sure yet. We're trying to recover him. And now the question obviously is, do we play him or not? I will basically give my answer to that question later on. Antonio Rüdiger, on the other hand, is back fit from obviously the injury that he picked up against, can't even remember who it was against. Was it Prague? Did he even play against Prague? Was it a game before? Anyway, he missed the Burnley game. I'm really sorry. I can't remember who he got injured against. He is back from injury. And other than that, I don't think anyone seems to be injured, except, of course, Callum Hudson-Odoi, who, unlike what I said in my Burnley review when I said looks like something in his knee or calf, he ruptured his Achilles tendon, which is a ridiculously bad injury. But, and I'm no doctor here, but I did speak to doctors. I did speak to, friends of mine that study medicine are close to being doctors. And also speaking from experience, being there one time when someone else did rupture their, Achilles. See, what Callum Hudson-Odoi did is not fully rupture his Achilles. He may have torn it. I know everyone says he ruptured it. That is, no. I don't know, maybe I'm getting the English term wrong. But he didn't fully rupture it. Because as you could see if you watched the game, he went down and then he got up again after being treated and tried to limp around a little bit. If you properly rupture and just tear your Achilles tendon completely apart, you cannot walk. You're screaming from agonizing pain. You cannot walk. It is impossible to walk. Your foot doesn't work anymore. And he still did walk in a lot of pain, but he still did walk, which is also why, Maurizio Sarri said today he will be out for at least 3 months, possibly 4 months, rather than if he fully ruptured his Achilles tendon, which would have put him out for 6 or 7 months, similar to what happened to Laurent Koscielny for Arsenal not too long ago. Was it ahead of the World Cup? I think it might have been. So, that is that situation, which hopefully can also be the factor why it doesn't harm him, because properly rupturing your Achilles can have bad effects on you in the future, pain-wise, performance-wise, speed-wise, it can have bad effects on you. So maybe, hopefully, with him not fully rupturing it, in my opinion, and in other people's opinion that I've spoken to, which know a lot more than I do about, such subjects, maybe that will not, make him have a, can't speak again, which will make that injury not have such bad effects on him, long term, basically. But he did still undergo surgery, I think a couple of days ago now, and he is on the way of recovery. So let's hope he can obviously get, fit soon. Reports are saying that we will offer him a new contract regardless of his injury. So that would obviously be great if he could sign that now. 3 months still gives him plenty of time to be signed in the summer by, for example, by Munich. 4 months even, that would bring him back in August, would make him miss some pre-season, which is horrible for him because, under Sarri, if Sarri does stay over the summer, which would obviously, in my opinion, be good, someone like Hudson-Odoi really needs that pre-season. So, it is quite big. And then the last thing to mention is that Eden Hazard did miss out on his spot in the, PFA Player Team of the Year award, or just Team of the Year, basically. And that's ridiculous. Sarri commented on it, said he would have deserved it. And yes, he would have done. Mane was in it. Yes, Mane is fighting for the league title. And Mane has scored, 2 more goals than Hazard? Maybe it was 3. I think 2. But Hazard has 13 assists. While Mane has 1. Just in the league. How is he ahead of him? Makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Absolutely no sense. And the fact that Paul Pogba is in the Team of the Year is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. If you can't think of another midfielder to put in there, if you don't want David Silva to be in there, don't choose a 4-3-3 formation. Just do not. Because Liverpool's midfielders, in my opinion, don't deserve to be in there. N'Golo Kante, in my opinion, deserves it more than Paul Pogba. Still doesn't deserve to be the Team of the Year, N'Golo Kante this season, in my opinion, in his new position. Neither does Jorginho. And none of the other top 6 midfielders. Possibly Eriksen, I guess you could make a case for. He probably deserves it more than Paul Pogba too. But Pogba certainly doesn't. And if you can't think of that, well, then choose a different formation. Like in the FIFA Team of the Year that was obviously released in January, they didn't have a right back. So they had 3 centre-backs instead. When there's not enough players in a certain position to deserve it, then you just fill it with someone else. You don't just put someone in for the sake of it because you need to fill that position. That's not how Team of the Year should work. Paul Pogba does not deserve to be in that, and Eden Hazard does. but I don't care. Messi finished 5th in the Ballon d'Or. I don't pay any attention to any of these stupid awards anymore because they're all stupid. How can Messi finish 5th in the Ballon d'Or when he's always and at all times the best player by far? I don't care what he wins. This is an individual award. You know, the Ballon d'Or it is not about what have your teams won, because teams don't win things, but like players don't win things with their teams by themselves. It's a team sport. Messi's always the best footballer. I don't care what anyone says because you'll win it every single year if we're actually talking about who was the best footballer that year. Because until Messi retires or until he breaks his leg, he's going to be the best player in the world. Anyway, enough, of my Messi fandom, which is real. I do apologize. But coming into the game now and coming basically to the discussion, should N'Golo Kante start? Again, guys, I'm not reading the chat yet. I will read it at the end and then talk about, what you want to talk about. And obviously some questions that you're asking, not reading the chat just yet. And also subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a like on this video. That would be massively appreciated. But yeah, continuing on, should N'Golo Kante play? Now, for me, of course, we're going to Frankfurt on Thursday. I'm also going to Frankfurt, which I'm very much looking forward to. Can't wait for that away game. In the first leg of this semi-final in the Europa League. Now, the only way that, in my opinion, Kante should start on Sunday, as important as that game is and as big as that game is if he is fully fit and ready to play both of those games. If playing on Sunday means he can't play on Thursday, I would not play him. I think we should prioritize the Europa League semi-final over, making top 4, because qualification for the Champions League, both of them mean that. If we won the Europa League and if we, finish top 4. But I would much rather, if it has to be one of them, obviously win the Europa League because it's, qualifying for the Champions League while winning a trophy. Finishing top 4 is winning the Arsenal trophy. That's all it is. That's all they're talking about. That's all troops saying, we'll still make top 4. Well, congratulations, mate. I hope you're happy with that. They can, of course, still win the Europa League, but they never talk about that. He always says that they will make top 4. Actually, he did change it after they lost to Wolves, didn't they? He just said they will make Champions League one way or another. I guess, fair enough. But still, maybe that's just me. I know a lot of people might disagree and say, no, the Man United game is bigger because of the rivalry and this and that and this and that. And maybe I'm also biased because I'm going to the Frankfurt game and I'd much rather see Kante play there, see us play our best team in that than, on Sunday. Maybe. But, to me, that seems to be the most logical thing. And other than that, we also have to look for Thursday again. Because rotation-wise, in the semi-final and against Man United, where do we rotate? Do we rotate at all? We probably should rotate a little bit, but how much do we rotate? Of course, we had midweek off now, which was good. So we had 6 days, or will have had 6 days by the time we play Man United on Sunday. But for the team, Rüdiger's back. I'd probably play him. If he's fully fit, I'd probably play him, probably instead of Christensen. Especially if they start Lukaku up front, that will be very helpful because against Burnley, I thought David Luiz and Christensen to an extent were bullied and we really missed Antonio Rüdiger. Of course, Kepa will be in goal. Of course, Azpilicueta will start. Hopefully, Emerson will start again. In possession is just so much better when he needs to start crossing first time and then hopefully crossing better as well. Midfield 3, if Kante doesn't start, should be Jorginho, Kovacic and Loftus-Cheek. Of course, Loftus-Cheek has to start if he's fine. Also picked up a knock against Burnley, but carried on. Fair enough to him. Of course, we need Kante. We really need Kante to play at our best. We saw it in the second half against Burnley. But still, if he's not fully fit, I'd rather wait for him to start against Frankfurt on Thursday. I think that's more important right now. And then as a front 3, obviously Hazard starts. On the right, I would personally start Willian. Maybe Pedro. I don't know between us, though. I cannot make a decision as to who I prefer out of the two. I just cannot. This is live now. I can't cut this thinking bit out because I can't even think who I'd prefer against Frankfurt either. Pedro's directness is good in both cases, but William's pace is also good in both cases. Tricky. I just don't know. And then with Thursday in mind, I'd just start Higuain again on Sunday, and then Giroud on Thursday in the Europa League. I think Higuain played very well for an hour against Burnley and deserves a start. I think the way we've given Giroud start, or that I said Giroud deserves a start when he played well, that similar way Higuain deserves a start now, in my opinion. But still, in the Europa League, it should be Olivier Giroud, in my opinion. Give him, again, that chance to win the Golden Boot, which would obviously be great. But yeah, what do I expect from the game? I expect a really difficult game. I expect us to struggle a lot more than we should. I expect Man United to be a lot better again than they have been in, the entirety of April, really. And, they haven't really scored a lot of goals either. They haven't scored really any goals since, playing against West Ham. And then if you take away those 2 penalty goals, they haven't scored from open play for even way longer than that. So, it's quite frankly ridiculous. But I do think we will concede. I think we can win. I think we can. The question is, will we? I think a draw is probably the most likely outcome, which makes top four more difficult unless Arsenal don't win at Leicester, which would be big. I think they play at Leicester this weekend. If they don't win that there and we get a draw at Old Trafford, I think we're in a good position to make top four. Of course, we still also play Leicester, but at home, do we? Or do we play them away? I think we might play them away as well, yeah. And then we play Watford at home, which is also a difficult game. At home, maybe a bit easier than away, but still, two tricky games for us, same as it is for other teams. But still, of course, a win would be ideal at Man United. But if it's a draw, I think I could accept that. Of course, with the Burnley draw, a win at Man United is even bigger than had we beaten Burnley. But, that's really it from me. I'm not, turning it off. But I'm coming to your chat now. And just seeing what you have to say, and let's talk about what do you guys say? Basically tell me in the chat. Do you think Kante should start? In mind that maybe if he starts on Sunday, he won't be able to play on Thursday. Like, which do you think we should we basically should start basically? And Max, don't know what you're saying. Why did you abandon me on Twitter? Did you just delete your Twitter account? I don't know, Max. I don't know whether Kante will be fit. I mean, we just have to wait and see, I guess. Hi, Uma, if that's how I pronounce your name. He's also made great saves. His ability on the ball has given us a lot going forward, in my opinion, a lot of stability. But, that's not the goalkeeper's main job, I guess. And as to Driz 13, Pepe in, I'm not going to talk about any transfer stuff until we know whether we have a transfer ban or not. Because we might be interested in Pepe, yes. And I would be interested in Pepe too, having a great season in Liga at Lille. But if we have a transfer ban, there's no point talking about it. I mean, like I say, I agree with Lund. I agree with Lund Banzi. However I pronounce your name. We won't beat Frankfurt without Kante. And so that's why I said only start Kante on Sunday if he's fit enough to play both Sunday and Thursday. Of course, Sunday to Thursday is, 3 days off in between. So that is possibly enough for him to play both. But, he has to play Frankfurt more. It's more important for him to play against Frankfurt than it is against Man United, in my opinion. No chances are, mate, at Cavan, not at, just Cavan, that the Hare won't have a blunder against us because we're Chelsea and everyone plays to their very, very best against Chelsea. That's just what it is. Everybody, look at Burnley. Hendrick will never score a goal like that again in his career, probably. And well, they are heading to Frankfurt. I'm heading to Frankfurt on Wednesday and going back straight after the game because the guy I'm, going with needs to go to Croatia on Friday. So we're driving straight back to Austria straight after the game. It's going to be a long night, but I'm very, very, very much looking forward to it. Cannot wait. Hopefully, hoping for a really good atmosphere at Frankfurt and hoping for a really good performance by the team and hopefully a win. Well, yeah, like you said, if he is fit to do something like that, then fine. But if he is only fit to play one of them, then I would rather play him against Frankfurt. Yes, I agree, Driz. I agree. Yes, of course, Sub and Roy is way more important because it's a trophy. It's achieving the same goal. It's achieving the same goal, but without, but the one is with the trophy and the other one is without a trophy. Not ripped for me. No, I'm fine. I'm not doing most of the driving. My mate is, so it's fine. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Thoughts on Lampard as a manager? One day, not now, not at all now, at all. I said at all twice, but that's how much I mean it. Higuain or Giroud? I think Giroud, but Higuain can score a good goal if he plays. I know he doesn't score against big teams anymore, though. You have a point. Maybe he wouldn't score against Man United, but the way Man United have played recently is not like a big team anyway. So maybe they are a bit similar like a Burnley, which he's got a great goal against. Hopefully we could defend, bloody hell, defend better against that, than than we did against Burnley, of course. No, Marley. I sadly do not think that Hazard will stay under any circumstances. I just don't see that happening. And on Solskjaer bottling it, I don't think he's bottling it. I don't think he's doing anything different to Moyes, to Van Gaal, to Mourinho. I think the criticism towards those people has been very, very harsh. But I don't think he's doing that bad of a job. I think that's just the team he has, and that's just also similar problems that Sarri has at Chelsea. That sometimes the team just don't do what you want them to do. They don't fight, they don't work their hardest, and then they also play badly. And sometimes that shit just happens. Will Ajax beat Tottenham? Bloody hope so, and I do think so. And thank you, Alex. Well, to Driz about Sarri leaving. Well, now it looks like Antonio Conte is actually Roma's first choice. You know, that's what I've read anyway. So you know, I don't know. I don't want Sarri to leave. Definitely needs one more season, in my opinion. I mean, fair enough. If by next upcoming Christmas of 2019, Sarri still hasn't figured it out, we're still not playing anywhere near what we want to be, and we're still like 6th, 5th, then I can understand why the board would pull the plug and get rid of Sarri. Fair enough. Yes, you know, we can be 5th, I think, or 6th, while playing good and well, but the others are just better. The other top 6 teams. But if we're not playing well enough and the others aren't great either, but we're still only 5th or 6th, then I would understand it. Would I agree with it? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see up until what happens then. If Arsenal finish 4th, we win the Europa League, would Arsenal still play in the Champions League? Yes, they would. They would. There would be 5 Premier League teams in the Europa League. If Spurs finished outside the top 4 though and won the Champions League while we win the Europa League and Arsenal finish 4th, then Arsenal wouldn't play Champions League. I'm pretty convinced. I don't think there can be 6 teams of the same country in the Champions League. What if Sarri doesn't get top 4 Champions League football? Does he stay? In my opinion, he should. I would understand though why the club wouldn't make that happen. Why the club would sack him? I would understand it. I wouldn't necessarily agree with it, but I would understand it. I think, yes, everyone makes that comparison and says, Guardiola struggled in his first season there at Man City, but still got 3rd and got Champions League football, of course. But then if you compare our squad to their squad, then probably coming just about not 4th, 5th, 6th, but very close to 4th, it's probably about the similar achievement as to what Guardiola had in his first season at City. So maybe that's why I think, we should give him that. Zuma to return, maybe, with the transfer ban, that is very much a possibility. Everton, I think, do want to sign him permanently, but, we'll have to wait and see. Oh, Max, I have absolutely no idea, mate. I have no clue. I'm sorry. I will think about that before the Frankfurt game. This is my preview for the Man United game. Let's do 1 or 2 more questions, and then I'm going to leave it there. And yeah, what's your prediction for Sunday, mate? I don't really do predictions anymore. So I'm not going to do predictions anymore. Sorry, mate. I mean, to GB Risley, would you keep Giroud for next season or keep playing Higuain? I mean, I'd keep both, quite frankly, and have Tammy Abraham as a 3rd choice. And if he does well, play him over both of them, I guess. Because I don't think Sarri wants Batshuayi, so that's not an option. We can't really bring back, what's the word? Morata, because he's gone on an 18-month loan. So I'd keep them both. Will we keep them both? Probably not. I think it looks like we're keeping Giroud because we have the option to extend his contract. On Higuain, I'm not sure because it's a bit more expensive. And then one other question. Would you want Da Silva and Mount? I would have them. Well, I would like Da Silva back, but Bristol have an option to buy him, don't they? I'm pretty sure they do, which they will probably like to, make use of, I guess. So that is a tricky one. Mason Mount, I think, should come back, but only if we sell Ross Barkley. Only then, because otherwise there's no point. There's no spot for him in the team. He's not a regista, in my opinion. He has to play as a left centre midfielder. So if we get rid of Barkley, then yes, Mount should come back. If we don't, then leave Mount and another season out on loan. If Derby go up actually through the playoffs, if they manage the playoffs and then go up, I would actually leave Mount there no matter what. And just keep Barkley, I don't know, just for his development and then for our future. I think that would be bigger for us. And I literally said 2 more questions. That's about 5 now, but I'm going to do a couple of more. Just back them on Sunday when you proper preference and United are cat now. Dangerous team, need the boys out. Don't know what you're saying, Liam. Sorry. Yes, I do think that Hazard will really leave us. I do apologise. Forza Ferrari. Yes, I agree, Max. That's a good question. Raheem Booth. Nicolas Pepe, Insigne, or Callum Hudson-Odoi to replace Hazard? Your opinion. If we don't have a transfer ban, Pepe. Never Insigne, way too old. And also, let's not keep signing players that Sarri used to be good with. You know, I don't see the point. And Hudson-Odoi, yes, but first of all, we'll have to wait and see how good he is after his injury. You know, I'm not going to give him every benefit of the doubt and just risking it if we don't have a transfer ban. But chances are we will have a transfer ban. I'm almost certain that we will not be able to sign players this summer. I'm almost certain of it. Not 100%, but I'm almost certain of it. And, you know, then Pepe, but Pepe can also play on the right. He's mostly a right winger, actually. So signing Pepe wouldn't actually be a necessary replacement for Hazard. That could mean Hudson on the left and Pepe on the right, and Pulisic as a, you know, back up to both sides. And then depending on who of Willian and Pedro we keep, I guess. I mean, Hazard will definitely play. He won't refuse to play. Thoughts on Tammy Abraham? Will he be in the team next season? Would you like him as a number 9? I would like him in the team. I wouldn't like him as a starter. Just don't think he's there. You know, he needs Premier League football. He had that at Swansea, then bottled it himself, because if it wasn't for his own decision last summer, he would have been in the Premier League this season and possibly could have, you know, be there. Eunice uploaded a new video. Great. Love Eunice. Not sure what you're saying is in this chat, but fair enough. But yeah, you know, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave this here. Again, leave a like on this video if you did enjoy it. You know, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Lucas Bielsa is loaned out to somewhere in Italy. I think Genoa. Could be wrong. Might be Chievo Verona. He's out to the Serie A anyway until the end of the season. But yeah, you know, subscribe, leave a like, you know, drop a comment once this live stream has turned into a video. Do all of that good stuff. On Sunday, I will do, and you know, straight after the game, I will do a live review on Worldwide Chelsea on Sadiq's channel. I'm not sure whether I will do a live review here as well, or do a proper video on here as well after that. I don't know just yet, but we'll definitely be doing a live review on his channel. So I'm definitely tuning to that when I'm there. But yeah, you know, thank you guys for watching. Can't wait for the game on Sunday. Hopefully we can get a good result. Can't wait for the game on Thursday in Frankfurt. Very much looking forward to that as well. Same counts, you know. I hope we can get a good result. Up to Chelsea. And I'm not sure what's happening on Sunday, so I'll just see you when I see you.